A Meridian couple who escaped the deadly attack in Las Vegas is safely back home now. Josh Stewart and Nicole Smith won tickets to the concert through a radio contest. The couple tells 6 on Your Side they made it back to Idaho early Tuesday morning after a flight delay in Denver. Stewart said it feels good to be back in the Treasure Valley. And a Treasure Valley man injured in the Vegas shooting has a GoFundMe page now if you'd like to donate to help cover his medical costs. You can find that at 6onyourside.com. Jason Hammond is an instructor at Paul Mitchell in Nampa. According to a Facebook post, Hammond suffered a superficial head wound and a more serious knee injury.
Last night, dive crews recovered the body of a man who fell into a Caldwell Canal. Caldwell police first got the call around 4 yesterday afternoon. Investigators say the man in his 60s was near the water's edge when he fell in. A friend jumped in after him but was unable to rescue him. The body was located around 8 o'clock last night. Police have not released the man's identity. 3 people were rescued from an early morning house fire in Caldwell yesterday. Crews were called to a home on Upper Pleasant Ridge Road around 5 a.m. yesterday. Rescuers say they had to cut through an outside wall of the burning house to rescue a man trapped inside a bathroom.
The gentleman had already collapsed inside from the heavy smoke and heat that was in there. We had one of the firefighters who reached in to try to grab him. His turnout gear, which is designed to be around fire, is burned.
Paramedics treated the man for burns and smoke inhalation, then transported him to a nearby hospital. They have not released his name. 2 others were also taken to hospitals. The house is a total loss, according to fire department spokespeople. Investigators are still trying to determine the cause of that fire.
We have an update to a story we first brought you Sunday night. The Ada County coroner has released the name of a woman who died after being hit by a car Sunday. 33-year-old Manit Maleen of Boise died as a result of blunt force trauma. Police say Maleen was walking on the sidewalk near the intersection of South Maple Grove and Brookview Drive when she was hit by a pickup truck. She died on the scene. The Boise Police Department is still investigating the crash and no charges have been filed.
Boise police are looking for a man they say robbed a West Boise bank yesterday morning. Investigators were called to the Wells Fargo at Ustick and 5 Mile around 11:30. They say a man wearing a black mask demanded cash and made off with an undisclosed amount of money. Police believe he's a white man in his 40s, over 6 feet tall, last seen wearing a black hoodie and blue jeans. Anyone with information is urged to contact police. In a few months, around 35,000 children in Idaho could be without health coverage after Congress let the Children's Health Insurance Program expire. Known as CHIP, the program provides health insurance for children in families with low and moderate incomes. If funding isn't restored, parents of children enrolled in the program will be responsible for the cost of routine checkups, immunizations, and other services.
There's really no good reason that Congress didn't meet that deadline. So we'll be working over the coming weeks to ensure that CHIP is renewed and that kids can continue to go and see the doctor.
Advocates hope Congress will pass the KIDS Act, legislation that would extend funding for CHIP for 5 years. State health officials say Idaho's CHIP program has funding through January.
University Drive on Boise State's campus is looking almost back to normal after a waterline break caused a sinkhole Monday night. Crews say the break was due to the structural failure of a section of a 27-year-old PVC water pipe underground. Repair was completed overnight and the broken section of the PVC pipe was replaced with an iron pipe. University officials say none of the nearby buildings were damaged.
So we brought out a couple, I don't know, I think about 10 emergency porta potties and got folks set up, left the student rec building open all day and all night, and hopefully kind of accommodated everybody's needs for the few hours that everything was shut down.
An asphalt crew is scheduled to repave the road today, and the intersection will be closed at least through this evening. Boise Fire says the reserve engine that fell into the sinkhole received minor damage and will be back in service in a few days. Right now at 6:07, let's take a look at traffic this morning with Carl B. in the On Your Side Traffic Center. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Jillian. Right now, eastbound I-84 is up to speed between Nampa and Boise. The connector does slow right before 13th downtown, and traffic is increasing on State Street, Chinden Boulevard, as well as on Eagle Road. I'm Carl B. in the On Your Side Traffic Center.
Thanks, Carl. Today is International Walk to School Day, and some local schools and community leaders will be participating. Boise police will be out walking with students from Grace Jordan Elementary. They'll start at Bora Park and walk all the way to school. Walk to School Day promotes safe walking and biking routes for children. Boise Mayor Dave Beater will join other city leaders at 7:30 this morning. If you're driving through a school zone, remember to slow down. The speed limit is 20 miles per hour. You can get a ticket if you're caught speeding.
And kids walking to school today will experience what kind of weather?
They will experience not as cold of a walk as yesterday. I would not call it a warm walk. I think that coat is still in order. And if you're walking to school in the Magic Valley, you will likely need an umbrella with you as you go. We have plenty of rain coming down east of Boise. So through Mountain Home along the I-84 corridor and then into the Magic Valley, we're seeing plenty of rain showers. We're seeing some snow in the Owyhees right now. But the Treasure Valley itself, as we zoom in a little bit here, you can see is mostly dry. However, right now, some of these showers are starting to slowly sneak a little further west. There's a little shower popping up in South Nampa. Boise, you're likely seeing some showers. Eagle may start seeing a little bit of rain here in the next half hour or so. So we are talking about the possibility of some sprinkles out there. So just plan accordingly. A hooded jacket maybe is in order if you're walking or biking to school or even just waiting at the bus stop. So overcast this morning, a cloudy and cool wait at the morning bus stop. By the time the kids get off the bus today, we're looking at upper 50s, still mostly cloudy skies, a little bit on the breezy side. And that will take us to a high of 60 degrees again for Boise. That's about where we were yesterday. Not a lot of change in our high temperatures today, but that will change over the next couple of days. And I'll have details on that in my full forecast.
President Trump traveling to Puerto Rico, handing out supplies and meeting with officials, praising the work on the ground and telling them they should be proud the death toll was only in the double digits. I'm ABC's Serena Marshall with more on that story coming up.
Another email controversy at the White House is still ahead. The latest from Washington as a third private account was found in use by the president's daughter.
You're waking up with 6 on your side with Steve Liebenthal, Jillian Gariz, and Rachel Garceau with the On Your Side forecast. Good morning, Idaho. You're waking up with 6 on your side news. Good morning, Idaho.
6:12 on your Wednesday morning. President Trump traveled to Puerto Rico to reassure the 3.2 million U.S. citizens there still struggling to recover. The president praised the relief efforts and met with those impacted, also raising some eyebrows with some of his comments. ABC's Serena Marshall reports from Washington.
President Trump meeting with the military and locals, praising response efforts to Hurricane Maria.
The whole team has been amazing.
Telling Fox News,
we got an A+ in Texas, we got an A+ in Florida, and we may have done our best work here, but it hasn't been appreciated.
And making a comparison not often heard during natural disasters.
Every death is a horror, but if you look at a real catastrophe like Katrina, what is your death count? 16 people versus in the thousands. You can be very proud.
After the president left, the governor announced the death count had doubled. During the president's 4+ hours on the island, he handed out supplies, at times tossing them at the crowd, even questioning the need for some of those supplies.
Flashlights, you don't need them anymore.
Lisbeth Vasquez Delgado and others living in this 13-story building just 15 minutes outside of the capital city would likely disagree. Just 7% of the island has power back, but more concerning, no food, no water.
Can you drink the water?
No, we cannot.
70-year-old Maria Diaz telling ABC's David Muir she's been drinking the water even though she knows it's not safe. Fearful she may be one that adds to that death count, telling him, "I don't want to die here."
The White House has confirmed today they plan to ask Congress for an additional $29 billion in disaster funding. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner reportedly used a private email account for White House documents shared among them and their household staff. Trump and Kushner have previously revealed they did use personal email accounts for government business. Politico is now reporting the couple also used a third shared address on a private domain. The president's daughter and her husband are government employees who serve as two of his top advisors. According to Politico's sources, hundreds of official emails were sent using the account, including schedules and travel documents. New restrictions on abortions were passed by the House of Representatives yesterday. The legislation would criminalize abortions performed after 20 weeks of pregnancy. There are exceptions if the life of the mother is at risk and in cases of rape and incest. Some opponents are calling it unconstitutional. President Trump showed support for the bill before he won the election, and some of his top advisors and Mike Pence, the vice president, publicly opposed abortion. In a statement on Monday before the bill was passed, the White House applauded the House of Representatives. The Trump administration is forcing 15 Cuban diplomats to leave the U.S. over alleged sonic attacks leaders say hurt 22 American workers in Havana. Those diplomats now have 6 days to leave. The U.S. will also bring embassy workers home from Cuba by this Friday. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says Cuba broke the terms of a treaty by failing to protect Americans in Cuba. Cuban officials called the move hasty and inappropriate. 6:15 now. Here's a live look at Boise from our Toyota TOWERCAM on top of the Grove Hotel. Rachel Garceau has your forecast next.
Now, Rachel Garceau with the On Your Side forecast.
About 17 after 6 on your Wednesday morning. Thanks for getting up early with us here on Good Morning Idaho. And it's a cold start across the Pacific Northwest, but here in Boise, not as cold as we were 24 hours ago. Check out Billings, Montana, though, 29 degrees. The core of the cold air, you can tell, is just kind of centered right now over Wyoming, Montana, and into the Dakotas. 42 in Bismarck, though, and we're at 41 in Boise, which is still a chilly start, but not nearly as cold as the 30s we had yesterday and the 20s over in the Magic Valley. They're sitting at about 40 in Twin Falls right now, and it is mild on the eastern half of the country right now. Chicago starting off at 72, 59 to start the day in Nashville. And as far as our weather goes for today, yes, another chilly day, but we're throwing cloud cover into the mix and that precipitation that we had talked about yesterday, right? And you can see the storm system very well defined. Of course, we know our weather kind of spins in this counterclockwise fashion around the center of the low pressure, and that's exactly what it's doing. So it spins this direction, and then it will also start moving north and east today. So this is our Wednesday weather. Now, it looks like a very wet system, but we don't expect a lot of rain here in the valley. We'll have some chilly winds setting in. Temperatures won't change a whole lot over yesterday. Not nearly as much sunshine and just some light scattered showers from time to time. We will see mountain snow above that 6,000-foot mark or so. We do expect a couple of inches possibly to accumulate. And then for tomorrow, here's what happens. That system will slowly move east. So for Thursday, we will have drier, calmer, slightly warmer conditions. The cold air will also kind of start moving off to the east. So Thursday and Friday look to be probably the most enjoyable days of the week, though the start of the weekend doesn't look all that bad either. Here's our futurecast. It shows by 9 o'clock or so, the heaviest precipitation still centered over this line moving up from the Magic Valley through the central mountain locations, Wood River Valley. The mountain valleys will likely see rain, but there will be snow above that. We, again, could pick up a couple of scattered showers. We're seeing some light rain in the valley this morning. That will likely taper off in the next few hours. We'll be left with cloud cover later today. Still some spotty showers up in the higher elevations throughout the day today. The wraparound moisture as that system really moves off will come back through and bring a couple of more showers tomorrow evening. But look at Thursday for the valley. Lots of sunshine, some high clouds drifting through, but tomorrow will look and feel much improved over today. So that is the good news. And we don't expect this to be a huge snowmaker of a system. We could see possibly just a trace of snow in areas like Ketchum and Stanley. That's on the valley floors, but most of it will be in those elevations above that 6,500-foot mark. But mountain passes that are heavily traveled or that are traveled at all will possibly be snow covered. So plan on some winter driving conditions if you're headed that direction in the next 24 hours or so. Here in the valley, cloudy today, a high of 65 for Ontario, 63 for Caldwell, 62 in Kuna, and just 59 for Mountain Home. 53 up in Idaho City today with scattered snow showers and mostly cloudy conditions. The west central mountains won't see quite as much moisture as our eastern mountains will today. That's the area that will get hit the hardest by this system. Things clear up tomorrow, up to 65 for Thursday. Beautiful on Friday, high of 70 degrees. And we kick off the weekend sunny and a high of 67, but some chilly mornings on Saturday and Sunday. Well, Saturday Night Live debuted a new season last weekend. And if you missed it, after the break, we will show you the actor who just couldn't stop laughing.
Good Wednesday morning. It is 6:24. You're taking a live look at Boise from the Red Lion Hotel, part of our Toyota Dealers TOWERCAM network. Welcome back. Saturday night was the premiere of the new season of Saturday Night Live.
And actor Ryan Gosling just could not stop laughing over the weekend as a guest host.
CNN's Jeannie Mose reports.
The season premiere of SNL had plenty of laughs.
What felt like a big fuzzy mitten.
And many of them were supplied by guest host Ryan Gosling cracking himself up. For instance, with his pronunciation,
or as it's correctly pronounced, Nerlens.
Of New Orleans.
And then from Nerlens, if this weren't Terrazanos.
Or laughing at himself faking the flute. But Gosling didn't just break character, he broke nearly all of his characters. For instance, when he played a fugitive who falls for Henrietta the chicken, she had trouble pulling his gun out of his pants.
Oh, you think I don't know anything because I fumble with my wings.
Gosling lost it in at least 5 sketches, and the audience ate it up. But when Kate McKinnon played a woman abducted by aliens who were fascinated by her butt,
They thought I had like broken into 2 pieces and they were trying.
she really cracked up Gosling by demonstrating on his butt.
They'd take one cheek, kind of jiggle it.
His jiggling back betrayed his laughter. When Gosling first hosted SNL almost 2 years ago, the original Alien sketch likewise left him in stitches.
He's crying.
He may be SNL's worst guest host when it comes to
Another one of these idiots was just like,
keeping a straight face. Not easy when Kate's face is going straight into the butt of the joke.
last guy who did that got double barrel pink eye.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Too funny. I don't think I could have kept a straight face either.
Never.
No.
I love when they laugh, actually. I know. I love it.
Well, there are a few things to celebrate today. First off, it's National Taco Day.
Yay!
According to nationaltacoday.com, last year Americans ate more than 4.5 billion tacos. And there are plenty of places to snag deals on this made-up holiday. At participating Taco Bell locations, they're going all out. You can get a special National Taco Day gift set.
Ooh.
For $5, you can get 4 classic Taco Bell tacos gift wrapped in a limited edition wrapper and specially boxed.
So not something you want to buy and save for under the Christmas tree then?
No.
Not that kind
Eat
of a
them
gift
right
set.
away.
Okay.
Celebrate, yeah. Del Taco, new and existing members of Del Taco's Raving Fan E-Club will get a buy one queso crunch taco and a coupon for 2 free grilled chicken tacos. And Applebee's is celebrating with $1 margaritas, also known as the Dollaritas, to enjoy with your taco.
People collect limited edition stuff, but I don't know if you want to save the wrapper to the taco as a memento.
Take a picture and put it in your scrapbook.
There you go.
Maybe that's the way to do it. All right. Well, you think it'd be National Tequila Day, maybe, to go hand in hand with National Taco Day, but it's not. It's National Vodka Day. That has its own website as well, nationalvodkaday.com. And according to that website, vodka accounts for almost 25% of spirits sold today in North America, making it the most popular alcoholic drink. It beat out bourbon as America's favorite spirit back in the 1970s. So it was bourbon, then vodka, probably because you can, I don't know, vodka mixes with more stuff, right?
I guess so.
I guess so. All right, well, let's check in now at 6:27 with Carl B. He's in the On Your Side Traffic Center, keeping an eye on that morning commute for us. Hey there, Carl.
Hey, Rachel, this On Your Side traffic report is brought to you by Larry Miller Dodge. A traffic advisory. Repair work continues on a waterline break at Boise State. The intersection of University and Lincoln is still closed this morning. Right now, it is normal freeway speeds on eastbound I-84 from the Karcher-Midland interchange in Nampa to the Flying Y in Boise. The connector does slow right before 13th downtown. Traffic's picking up on Eagle Road, Chinden Boulevard, and on State Street. I'm Carl B. in the On Your Side Traffic Center.
Thanks, Carl. 6:28 now. A program that helped parents provide health care for their children expired at the end of last month. Coming up in our second half hour, the effort to renew the Children's Health Insurance Program in Idaho.
You're waking up with 6 on Your Side News. Good morning, Idaho.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks for starting your day with us here on Good Morning Idaho. I'm Jillian Garrix.
And I'm Steve Liebenthal. Before we get to your top stories, a look at the day ahead with Rachel Garceau.
Things are changing up a little bit today, and it's kind of a bittersweet situation. We're cloudy, we're a little rainy this morning, but it's not as cold. Right. So that's something, right? We're not in the 30s or the 20s as it was in the Magic Valley yesterday, but the Magic Valley is getting plenty of rain right now. Look at that rain coming down around Twin Falls. The I-84 corridor there between Boise and Mountain Home and into the Magic Valley is getting wet as well. So if you're headed that direction, expect some wet pavement. We're seeing mountain snow in the Owyhees and a couple of sprinkles falling right now in the east end of the valley. So East Boise, you may be picking up a couple of showers right now. And overall, just a cloudy, cool, slightly breezy day. The rain will be hit or miss today, and we do have snow expected in the mountains. I'll talk more about that for you coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Rachel. Last night, dive crews recovered the body of a man who fell into a Caldwell canal. Caldwell police got the call around 4 yesterday afternoon. Investigators say the man in his 60s was near the water's edge when he fell in. A friend jumped in after him but was unable to rescue him. The body was located around 8 o'clock. Police have not released his identity. 3 people were rescued from an early morning house fire in Caldwell yesterday. Crews were called to a home on Upper Pleasant Ridge Road around 5 a.m. Rescuers had to cut through an outside wall of the burning house to rescue a man trapped inside the bathroom.
The gentleman had already collapsed inside from the heavy smoke and heat that was in there. We had one of the firefighters who reached in to try to grab him. His turnout gear, which is designed to be around fire, is burned.
Paramedics treated the man for burns and smoke inhalation, then transported him to a nearby hospital. They have not released his name. 2 others were also taken to hospitals. The house is a total loss, according to the fire department spokesman. Investigators are still trying to determine the cause of that fire.
We have an update to a story we first brought you Sunday night. The Ada County coroner has released the name of a woman who died after being hit by a car Sunday. 33-year-old Manit Maleen of Boise died as a result of blunt force trauma. Police say Maleen was walking on the sidewalk near the intersection of South Maple Grove and Brookview Drive when she was hit by a pickup truck. She died on the scene. The Boise Police Department is investigating the crash and no charges have been filed.
Boise police are looking for a man they say robbed a West Boise bank yesterday morning. Investigators were called to the Wells Fargo at Ustick and 5 Mile around 11:30. They say a man wearing a black mask demanded cash and made off with an undisclosed amount of money. Police believe he is a white man in his 40s, over 6 feet tall, last seen wearing a black hoodie and blue jeans. Anyone with information is urged to contact police. 9 million kids across the country may be uninsured after Congress allowed the Children's Health Insurance Program to expire. 6 on Your Side, Stephanie Hale Lopez explains what this means for the thousands of Idaho children who rely on it.
In a few months, around 35,000 children in Idaho could be without health coverage after Congress let the Children's Health Insurance Program expire. Known as CHIP, the program provides health insurance for children and families with low and moderate incomes.
There's really no good reason that Congress didn't meet that deadline. So we'll be working over the coming weeks to ensure that CHIP is renewed and that kids can continue to go and see the doctor.
The federal government has funded most of the program, with states contributing a marginal amount. If funding isn't restored, kids in the program won't be able to see a doctor for routine checkups, immunizations, and other services.
One of the fundamental areas of care in the medical home is really to provide stability. And that stability is best when kids have continuous health care coverage.
Advocates are hopeful Congress will pass the KIDS Act, legislation that would extend funding for CHIP for 5 years.
Kids will be able to see a doctor when they need to. They'll get prescriptions